No, that's not his crotch. He's sitting on something. Welcome to Ground Scaravich's stage. The Central Museum. Please enjoy your stay. No flash photography or smoking, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the building that used to be the Central Museum. Just calling it the Central Museum wasn't specific enough. Thanks, Alia! I am going to be here a while. You only have to watch me run through this stage just once, but in order to get all of the parts, you're going to have to play through it multiple times. And with this background music, I don't think I'm going to enjoy that. So, the gimmick is, there are 4 ghostly-looking totem poles that when touched, send you to 1 out of 8 individual segments of level at random. And since the Reploids and other collectibles are hidden in these segments, it's obviously going to take multiple playthroughs to get all of the Reploids and stuff. I'd like to say that the individual segments are pretty neatly designed themselves, but they really aren't. They're flooded with nightmares and randomly disappearing rocks. Whatever's up with that. And another thing is that... in this part, Virtual Dub kind of, did something weird with their recording. Yeah. It's like I'm on LSD. But anyways, there are actually minor variations within each individual segment. Like, sometimes there's a spike pit that won't always be there. Sometimes there's a block that won't always be there. Things like that. I don't care to explore all of the different individual variations, because, like, who cares? There might be a specific variation that causes the segment to become horrendously difficult, but you know, I ain't resetting over and over again just to show all of that. And as you saw, after you get out of the totem pole zone or whatever, you have to destroy the actual totem pole, which is not difficult with 0. Here's our armor piece. Oh, that's an interesting place to have a conversation, wouldn't you say? Hey, just one more armor piece and I'll have completed the blade armor. Not very useful, it's on its own, but you need it to get the pieces of the other armor. That makes perfect sense, right? I mean, X5 did the same thing, requiring 1 armor to get pieces of the other armor. Nice, just nice. On the bright side, at least flooding the place with nightmares is good for soul farming. Except when the soul appears in a place where you can't actually grab it, because it's like in the wall. Nightmares are just awful. They can move through any terrain. I should also mention that X's bullets can't go through walls, so kind of a problem, that. But if you take your time and collect all of the souls that you can get, including the boss's 200 souls, you'll get a total of 500 on average, I think. So, instant A rank. Speaking of rank, I have nothing to say for this last totem pole zone, so I may as well mention. I recently discovered, and by recently discovered I mean someone posted it in the thread, the boss levels, if you haven't noticed, the bosses have levels again. Those are tied into your rank. When you get to A rank, bosses are, well, actually, when you get to SA rank, when you get to SA rank, bosses are level 2. At GA, they're level 3. At rank PA, they're level 4, and 4 is the max. Extreme mode, which is an additional difficulty level that I'm not using because it's so crazy. Extreme mode places the inevitable boss refights at level 4 all the time. So, Maybe I will switch to extreme mode when we get to the boss fights, if the game will allow me to switch difficulty in the middle of a save. Anyways, with all of that taken care of, we are now at the boss. That is one impressive mustache, I must say. Although, looking at his two-dimensional sprite compared to the portrait, he's standing upside down, pushing that little rock thing with his legs. Huh. Well, there's really nothing interesting about the fight itself because this is his entire pattern. Moving left and right, pushing a rock while saying whatever it is he's saying. Yep, that's his pattern alright. The little rock he's pushing will get bigger eventually, as you see here, and he can throw it at you, but that's basically it. His weakness is the Anmar option. I don't know what... I assume he's a cockroach. I don't really know what a Scaravich is. Maybe it's German for something. I'll ask Simon. But, so, cockroaches, weak to dragonflies. How does that work? Oh, but I guess what's possibly a threat is that giant rock. That's the biggest rock he can use. It takes down about half your life bar in one hit, but thankfully there are ropes in the boss room. Why are there ropes in the boss room? That attack would be unavoidable if there weren't ropes in the room. Come on. I thought we got over boss rooms providing the solution to all your problems after Yoshi's story put an invincibility heart in the final boss's lair. Press attack plus down buttons in the air. That's a lie! That's a lie. The command for that is attack plus up. They were gonna change it to attack plus down in the X collection, which explains why the dialogue is changed to reflect that, but they never actually changed the command. But X collection is rushed, so that explains everything. Ancient robots. That is like the first time I have ever heard the word robot used in Mega Man X. Scaravich is also notable for being the only boss not actually created by Gate, for those who it may concern. Noticing a theme here? All of the bosses seem to have been disposed of by Aelia, whether she wanted to or not. So anyways, the next stage is presumably filled with lasers, but you notice that the icon was red, so we're going to be seeing an actual nightmare effect for once. And I've also decided to use Unarmored X, just to show what he does.
Ready?
Right. First up is a stretch of absolutely no enemies whatsoever. That is Scaravich's weapon for X. It's totally useless. And there are platforms here that are invisible until you step on them. They're a little slippery, and you can't cling to their sides if you fall off of them, so... Here's another stretch with no enemies whatsoever. And that's Maginian's weapon for X. And now we have to wait for the stupid laser to shoot the door open. I mean, that's really just silly. I remember having to wait like minutes at most in order for the lasers to actually shoot the door open. Like, this one is just awful. Come on, come on. Shoot the door open for me. Thank you. This red block right here is Scaravich's nightmare effect. Yeah, you can shoot it with Scaravich's weapon, but if you're too close to the red ones when they explode, you take damage. Quite a lot, as you just saw. Now we get to play, I don't know, this reminds me of some puzzle game, but I'm not sure what. But anyways, you have to shoot the reflectors until they reflect the laser at the door. And that's the end of the level. Very short staged. Staged. The boss isn't much better than the stage, unfortunately. I thought it was you. Sure. Okay. That's... this translation. Oh no, it's Virtual Dub's LSD effect again. Retired. Come on, game. We're teenagers, at least. Okay, backstory. Sheldon killed himself. See, when you say it like, oh, you retired yourself, that's like ruining the whole point of saying... And of course he's going to throw his life away again. You can only hurt him when his shells are away from him. So this might take a while, especially since I'm using Unarmored X. Armored Armadillo 2.0 right here. I can only imagine what this fight is like for Zero. Fortunately, he switches up his pattern pretty quick. You can see that hitting any of the 4 lights around him will make them shoot bullets. Your buster shots can't really get in there, but the saber can, thankfully. I got no idea what's up with this attack. Really, all of Sheldon's attack just waste your time. Like, he's only vulnerable when he throws his shell like that, and when he does this attack. And even then, only at very small periods. Like, I have to get lucky. Anyways, you can see it took me a couple of tries if you check my life counter before and after the battle started. Woohoo! Video editing! Wow, less than 2 minutes. What a short stage. The guard shell is the same for both X and Zero, but Zero's, I think he's only allowed to use it if you select it in the menu, which is really weird. Dr. Jim. Nice name. What do you mean? He became a maverick, then he was able to control himself? How does that work? No, everyone thinks I'm a maverick. I must commit seppuku. That stage was short. Let's go again. We are later in the stage. Only this time with Zero because I want to show off the alternate path. And listen to this. It's like a puzzle game. Whatever. Whatever. Just whatever. Never change, Zero. Never change. Anyways, what you just saw was the technique that Zero got from Scaravich. It's very bad for destroying those blocks. Fortunately, respawn right here. Now, anyways, I mentioned that the command for it is up plus attack. They were going to change it to down plus attack because if you happen to be hanging on a rope, for instance, and you have a bad habit of holding up while you're on the rope, and you push the attack button, that's Zero's Giga attack, by the way. It was completely ineffectual against the enemies in that room. But anyways, if you're holding up on a rope and you push attack, you'll slash down into a spike pit or something similar. You'll fall off the rope. I mean, I'll demonstrate what I mean later. But if you don't have a habit of holding up while you're on a rope, you're safe. But many of us did back in the day. Some more playing with the reflectors, which I don't really like. I mean, there could have been so many better things done with lasers. Anyways, here's a hidden path. First, I gotta get rid of this nightmare. Dash jump. There's the final piece of the blade armor. I'm going to be using it quite a bit because I have to use it to get the pieces of the other armor as mentioned. And you can't dash jump back there without falling into the pit because you can't cling to that wall for whatever reason. And more invisible platforms and a heart tank that you have to kill yourself to get. It's fairly certain you have to kill yourself for it. So we'll just move on to the alternate path here. Oh, this is going to be so much fun, I just know it. Ah, look what we have here. That is the weapon tank. It stores excess weapon energy and then allows you to refill it later. It's totally useless. Getting to those two Reploids is going to take some trickery, I imagine. Let's try, getting hit, using the invincibility frames to get up there. Yeah, that works. And that is why... that is why making the command for that attack up plus attack was just so dumb. And since it's a downward slash, you'd think it'd be down plus attack anyways. Anyways, I promise we'll proceed through the level normally. There's some more Reploids here. And finally the boss. After I get another soul. So, coming through here the first time will take you to Nightmare 0. you beat Nightmare Zero and you come through here, through these alternate areas again, well, who could the boss possibly be? Oh, lovely, it's you. This guy, there is just so much wrong with Hymax. Killing him with Zero is... Okay, you see that? That's what you have to do to kill Hymax with the Zero. You hit him with a sword technique, like the downward slash, which stuns him, and then you hit him with a Yanmar option. There are better ways of killing him with Zero, but I do not have that weapon yet. The weapons that would be better for killing him with Zero. So unless I'm really good at knowing where the hitboxes are, killing him with just what I've got right now will be impossible, and no thanks to all of those extra lives I got off the Reploids, and the fact that you can't escape from an alternate section even if you've beaten the original stage's boss. Well, let's just say I attempted this fight 8 times and I still couldn't beat him. So forget that. I'm not gonna take that standing up though. I'm gonna come back. Ain't that beautiful? Almost 800 damage. Yes, blade armor's complete. So let's go back in there with X, and I'm going to use the blade armor just to show it off. It has an air dash, a very nice air dash that can also dash up and down, which that's very nice. What I don't show off is that if you charge up your charge shot and hold up while you release the button, you'll do a charge saber slash. This will never be useful. Alright, buddy, now it's time to show you who the real Hymax is. It's much easier to beat him with X than it is with Zero. All X has to do is hit him with a charge shot and then a special weapon. Almost any of them work. Aye, but... you know, coming to this guy and having to kill yourself several times just because you don't have the correct weapon, and this is gonna take a while. I'm just putting that out there right now. It's pretty repetitive because of like having to go through this whole cycle every time you want to hit him. And if he does that move right there where he puts up the little shield, he's completely invulnerable and you have to wait for him to come back down. Gosh. It's not like this is particularly difficult either. I stopped doing that! Now, he's supposed to go into a different pattern of attacks past half health, but he doesn't seem to want to do that right now. There's literally nothing to that move. You just duck him. Okay, while he's doing this, he is vulnerable to any special weapon. You don't even need to shoot him with a charge shot first. There, he's dead, finally! No reward you could possibly give me will make up for all of that. You are rewarded with a cutscene. Come on, High Max. Spoiler alert, you never fight Isaac, which makes him a pointless character. No, Isaac, you won't. We never fight you. So that's that. "7 minutes, that's how long I was going to play with you."